Hello, Gemini. This is Mary Elizabeth with Sacred Love Tarot, and this is your Gemini March 2023 Tarot Forecast. I hope this reading finds you happy, well, and in an attitude of gratitude. So yes, let's see what March has in store for you. So before we get started, I'd like to request that we do an energy exchange. I do this reading for you. You like, you subscribe, you hit the notification bell, you comment, you share. I would be totally happy if you were as invested in this reading as I am invested in doing it for you. So let's see what the month of March has for you, Gemini. And here we go. Our first card to fly out is Action. Oof, love that card. Look at it. Action. Rest and rejuvenation. Yes, because after every action, there is a process of evaluation, of resting, of rejuvenation, of recharging. And we do that we do that by grounding, by meditating, by connecting, and strength. So whatever you have going on in the month of March, Gemini, it is going to be huge, big enough to for you to have to connect to your strength and your courage. The angel in the background, she is wearing white. White is purity. Her feathers, angel wings, look to be greenish. So this is all about opening your heart and allowing things to happen for you, but knowing that you are 110% protected by spirit, by source, by the universe, right? By stepping in to your courage and your strength, you are protected. You are protected by take this action. This is kind of like the Chariot in the traditional tarot. Bringing balance, we have the white and the black horse, the yin and the yang, bringing stability to this action, but taking the action. We have a fence here to make sure you are not going backwards, or you are not moving into a position that is not conducive to your happiness and growth. We have green all around. The green is prosperity, is abundance, is growth. And then we have the rest and rejuvenation. We come back, we center, we balance, we ground ourselves, we connect to our higher source. So whatever action you're being guided to take in the month of March, Gemini, you are coming from a place of strength, a place of using your intuition, a place of creativity, stepping into, there's a lot of courage needed here. So perhaps you will be presented with something, or you already have been presented with something, and it frightens you to think about stepping into the unknown, to think about stepping out of that comfort zone. But by stepping in to your strength and your courage, and by opening up your heart to this opportunity, and by diving into your passion and your creativity that you have for life, you will be able to do this, and it will be one hell of a roller coaster ride. So when it's all said and done, the resting and rejuvenation, centering, grounding, recharging is very important to the rest of this journey, or the rest of your March. So let's see what the Everyday Witch has for you. All right, so a lot of cards came out. Four to be exact, and 4 is exactly what we need. So we have, the Star card, right? You've passed your trials and tribulations. You left that all behind. We have the dead fish here, which to me, it represents things that no longer serve you dying, being washed away, right? And then the cat picks that up and uses it for something else. Perhaps maybe he eats the fish, and that fish gives him rejuvenation and energy to move forward, right? So we have as above, so below. We have the blue, the green, the purple, the blue, the green, the purple, this is the throat chakra, the heart chakra, and the third eye / crown chakra. This is all about you being connected to not only earth, but the heavens above, your wishes coming true, you going through a lot of trials and tribulations, but this time you're making it through. We have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is interesting because this is a self-inflicted feeling of impossibility or uncertainty. There is enough room between these swords for you to stand up and walk right on out, but you are not allowing yourself the vision to see what this opportunity has in store for you. So you are being guided to take charge, right? She's not only holding a sword, she is holding a quill / pen. She is sitting on a throne of crystals. Crystals absorb the energy of the earth, and they are able to not only accept energy, but they're also able to project energy as well. She is wearing gold, she is wearing blue, she is older, so she has tons of life experiences here to what's the word, spirit, to learn from, right? And she is learning from those life experiences. She is taking control of what needs to be taken control of, and she's doing things the way she wants to do them. And she's using the quill as her weapon, making the rules, changing the rules, writing it all down, journaling, writing letters to spirit, source, the universe. This is what I want. This is what I want to do. She's journaling. She is creating. See, people think that that in order to get what we want, we have to fight for it, right? We have to fight for it. We have to scrimp for it. We have to slave for it. But she is using this pen more than she is using the sword that she is holding. So when people say the pen is mightier than the sword, she has learned over time that this doesn't have to be a struggle. We don't have to be in our head about everything all the time. We can thank Spirit, Source, our angels, guides, deities, God, whomever, for the blessings that we have received and what we have been able to release and let go. And we can celebrate it and not be in our head constantly about the what ifs and the what's, whens, where's, ifs, ands, or buts, right? So for you, Gemini, I'm saying that the action that you are taking in the month of March is taking control of your life, taking control of your situation, and no longer allowing ego, or no longer allowing yourself to be the victim of things that are not that have nothing to do with you, or that are not under your control. You have the opportunity here to release and to let that go, and to fluff off this makeshift shell of being the victim, of taking on responsibilities that are not yours. And when we shed that skin, and when we allow ourselves to be who we truly are, and when we step into our strength and our courage, and when we open our heart to our true opportunities and possibilities of being who we truly are, we no longer are invested in that headspace of not allowing ourselves to see who we truly are. We take control, and we write the story of who we truly are, and then we celebrate that story. So whatever journey that you are going on in the month of March, Gemini, this is one of you taking control and celebrating it. This is one of you releasing and letting go what no longer serves you, what no longer benefits you, and allowing that energy to be absorbed into the heavens, into the earth, allowing that stagnant, dead energy to be absorbed into things that possibly could benefit other people, experiences that can benefit other people. Maybe perhaps there are people who are going through what you went through, and by seeing how you were able to take action and to change, they too desire to do the same. So it could be you stepping into the role of a I don't want to say a therapist, but perhaps maybe a spiritual counselor, or maybe a medium, or maybe a reader, and it's taking you all this time to get out of that headspace mentality of I don't know, or I'm afraid, or I can't, or I'm too old, or I'm not experienced, or. You've taken control of that situation, and now it's time to celebrate it. Ooh. Ooh, I'm going to put that right there, because that almost bent in half. All right, so what was the card that almost bent in half? Oh, the Six of Pentacles, the Lovers. So the Six of Pentacles, you recognize that you are no longer the person who is the constant giver, right? Perhaps you were a person who gave, and no one respected those boundaries, right? Everybody expected from you to be that person who constantly gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. And there was a part of you that felt as if you couldn't accept, right? As if you couldn't accept, because that meant that you were unable to do things on your own, perhaps. So now you find yourself in a position of equality, to be able to give, and this is a spiritual journey that you're on. Now you find yourself in a position of equality, to where you're able to give and to take, and to balance those karmic scales. To balance those karmic scales in a way that you no longer feel taken advantage of, that you no longer feel as if you're unappreciated or unrecognized or realized, right? And so when that happens, we start truly finding that version of ourselves that we love, that version of ourselves who we've always imagined ourselves to be, right? The Lover's card can be a relationship forming out of this newfound version of strength and power and creativity and celebration and offering and receiving. It could be a relationship form, but I think that this is you finding you. I think this is you finding the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. Someone who takes action, someone who is no longer lives life by the person whom you used to be, or whom others, labeled you as, but as someone who is strong and powerful, someone who is courageous, and someone who is now a person who sees the action that needs to be taken and takes that action without hesitation, because, right? So I don't see this as being a physical, intimate relationship for you, Gemini. I see this as being a relationship with you and you. And because now you're able to step into, release and let go of the negative victim mentality headspace, because of that, now you're in a place of growth, of stability, of loyalty. Now you're in a place of acceptance, abundance, prosperity. Now you're in a place of being able to, cliche coming in, having your cake and eating it too. And there is nothing that anyone can say or do to stop you from being the true, authentic version of yourself. It could be a relationship with someone who is very well off, someone who is very loyal, someone who's very interested in your growth, and someone who is very interested in your helping you become accustomed to a way of life that you want to become very accustomed to. So I talked about maybe you being a spiritual advisor. We have the High Priestess, and this is, we could see the black and white here and the black and white here, so balance and the yin and yang of it all. We have balance here, balance here, balance here. We also have rest and rejuvenation, which is about being balanced there. We also have the Lovers, and this is a balanced here. So this is balance, yes, but also about learning, about diving into what it is that makes you you in regards to your spiritual abilities, right? If it's tarot, if it's scrying, if it's runes, if it's pendulum work, medium work, whatever the case is, this is you investing your time in learning, in connecting to source and spirit. This is you investing your time in a very equal, balanced, stable way, not going too far one way, not going too far the other way, just being very open to learning, to absorbing, and perhaps maybe even this becoming a career, because we have that King of Pentacles, which is making money, living in abundance. I love that, next to the High Priestess. So we are cutting cords, weeding out the rats, if you will, and for every cord we cut, there's a door of change that opens with it, right? So the Death card is all about rejuvenation. The Death card is all about not just rejuvenation, but change, right? The Death card is cutting cords out, cutting the cords from the who's, the what's, the when's, the where's, the why's, it all. Cutting the cords of things that no longer fit in the perspective of the life that you see for yourself, right? We can't hold on to the old way of thinking and feeling and seeing and presenting, but still step into the energy of strength and courage and writing our own journey, if that makes sense. So if we are stuck in ego, we can't raise our energy high enough for growth and stability and abundance and fertility and celebration, recognition, rejuvenation, all that to happen. The two energies are contradictory energies, right? So there has to be a cutting of what is no longer beneficial in one's life in order to step into the energy of what is beneficial to one's life. Stepping into the energy of wishing and making those dreams come true. Stepping into the energy of finding your significant other or your partner. Stepping into the energy of creating a life that you see for yourself. Stepping into the energy of abundance, prosperity, growth, and loyalty. Stepping into the energy of taking action. Stepping into the energy of resting and rejuvenation. Stepping into the energy of strength and courage. This has to be done. All of the cord cutting has to be done if we desire to step into the energy of all of this. If the cord cutting isn't done, if the work isn't done, then we constantly stay in a makeshift victimhood mentality, one of our own doing, right? So by stepping in to your spirituality, if you will, you are then able to cut the cords from the past and release what no longer serves you. And then there's choices to be made. Where do we go from here, right? What do? It's like the star card. So we're wishing upon this star. Now that we've done all the work, which wish is first? What do we want first? Do we want the relationship first? Do we want the wishing upon the star first? Do we want to journal, write our book first? Do we want the beautiful home first? Do we want the money, the abundance, and prosperity first? Do we want to plant the seeds first? So do we want to be our bestest badass self first? So what comes first? And that's for you to decide. And that's a good thing, because you've taken the action and you've stood in your strength and your courage. And now it's no one's decision but yours. No one has that power over you anymore, right? No one can say, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. This is all up to you, right? I can bring you the message, but if you take the action or not, that's your decision and your choice. I can't make that for you. So we're going to do a beloved message. And your beloved message is now. And the holy space between. Allow me, divine beloved, to rest in that holy space between what is and what will be. Let me fully embrace, relax, and bless the now. So as you move on this journey, remember that the past no longer matters. And the future hasn't been written yet. You haven't done that yet. You're working on it, but you haven't done it yet. What matters is the right here, right now, this present moment. And you haven't gotten here. The headspace, the possible insecure, negative, uncertain, doubtful headspace that you're in, you didn't get there overnight. So you're not going to get here overnight. This is going to take a little bit of work. And that's why you have to step into that energy of the high priestess. And you have to start, it's like combating those negative thoughts, combating those negative feelings, combating that ego self that wants to constantly tell you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not prosperous enough, you're not secure enough to go on this journey, because you are. So try to stay in this present moment, allow the past to be the past, don't worry too much about the future, and step into the energy that Spirit has provided you here. And when you start getting in those headspaces along this journey, take a nap, take a rest, do something to break that energy, and know that tomorrow is a new day. Know that you're divinely guided and loved. Talk soon.